Greetings and welcome to episode 141 of my Empire Total War Darth mod USA campaign. And this, my friends, how I left it last time, where we are now finally bringing about the clearance of the Ottoman forces from Ankara. They have been a menace to us for a number of years. We are finally now going to commit forces to removing them from Ankara, bringing Ankara back into the fold, as it were. It has been under quite considerable strain because, of course, our forces, our military effort has been elsewhere. But now we have peace with the Germans, for now at least. We can now focus on other theatres that were under considerable strain. Now, as you can see, we are up against what would look on paper, if it's at full strength, a formidable Ottoman force. However, as you can see, they are severely depleted. They have taken casualties, I believe, mainly from attrition, because I think they've got sort of a bankrupt slightly, so I think there's a chance they might be getting that, where desertion is rife. But as you can see, we are, as you have a lot of towns, villages, ports are being hit pretty hard by Ottoman forces, and that's restricted our growth. So we're going to try and remove that threat. And as you can see, we've brought a standard force, no elite infantry in here, but I don't think we need that as yet. We have our own cuirassiers, of course, but look at that. Circassian armoured cavalry. That is a brutish force. Look at that melee attack. Look at the charge bonus. The melee defence is considerable. The morale, these gentlemen barely break. But, as you can see, the main difference is all of our troops are at full strength. And we also bring artillery, which the Ottomans do not. So again, the firepower, the fire support is there on our side once again. But we have a huge amount to do, primarily in the east, but we shall look at that momentarily. We have a lot to discuss. I know the council has huge reservations about what's happening in the east against the Russians. But first of all, let's take the fight here against the Ottomans here, trying to clear Ankara, which has been, by my own admission, has been neglected considerably. But hopefully we can try and bring Ankara back into the fold in terms of getting all of our trade ports, our villages, our towns back up and running at full strength. And to do that, we need to clear the Ottoman forces away from them. It's going to take some time, and it's also going to have to take some commitment from us to do so, but we will. Oh, look at that. Now, this is... Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness me, what a deployment zone. I mean, you could have cannon up here and it would be firing down on the enemy all day long. However, as you can see, the topography here doesn't lend itself very well to actually coming down this particular slope here. You'd have to be running directly in front of you here, but it would be a perfect place to have your cavalry here and sort of swing around here. But that's not to say that the Ottomans won't attack from this point here and sort of attack down the slope here, catching us by surprise. The topography of this battlefield is rare indeed. You don't really see a battlefield of this magnitude. Look at the size of the hill here. It is ginormous. So, oh, look at the fire support. It is a wonder. Now we can have the fire support here, but what if the Ottomans are here? So I think what we'll do is we'll pull the fire support back to this much smaller hillock here, this valley. As you can see, it sort of ekes down into a valley here. We've got to be careful. We've got this mound here that will break up the lines, so we have to be prepared to defend but also attack at the same time. We've got plenty of cavalry which to do so, plenty of infantry as well. I think I'd like to try and attack from two flanks. We have our standard 4 regiments of cuirassiers. I think these gentlemen are actually put here and attack from this vantage point, sort of swinging around here from left to right, as it were. Again, the cuirassiers, look at that. We'll have the fire support, I think, on ground level, as it were, instead of high up there, because having the forces down here is okay, but the fire support needs to be broad. They can, of course, fire over this hillock corner here of it if need be. Let's move these forces out here. Put them hither. And indeed these gentlemen here as well. Let's get the deployment absolutely spot on here. We need to demolish this Ottoman force quickly and efficiently. We'll put these gentlemen here and here. Now, absolutely slap bang in the middle here. Deploy, but we're gonna have them in different groups here just for that control. Just like, no, gentlemen.
Artillery reporting. Artillery reporting. Artillery. Battery reporting. Medium howitzers. Orders. Artillery.
Let's get this right. Thank you.
Sir. Heavy cannon. Artillery reporting.
Perfect.
Reporting.
Look at this. Now,
Battery reporting.
quick line.
Battery reporting.
A round shot there. Look at that. Ready to fight, sir. Now, let's get our line infantry in here. Have this regiment here at the vanguard of the defence here. We need to make this battle, as I said, quick and efficient as possible. I think we have 4 or 5 regiments in defence here. And even there, the topography of the ground sort of splits the regiments slightly, as you can see here. Look at that. How the line deviates here because of the way the ground is. It's a tricky battlefield to deploy zone. There's so many hazards, but also many things to help with the deployment. I think that should be enough in terms of facing what's coming forward. So we'd like to attack them if possible as well. But again, we have to be careful here because we've got this hillock here, so we've attacked them. We'd have to move down this slope here. As you can see, we couldn't move that. We couldn't move down this slope here. We'd have to move down here. So again, I think we'll have a couple of regiments. And let's have. Where's the general? There's general.
Order.
We don't have a council member in here, so we will need a council member for this army. Right on the extremities here. Got to catch these Ottomans. And one more regiment here, just to make sure. Oh, gentlemen, please. Thank you. I think we'll attack from this slope. Look at that, we've got a lot of regiments here. I think we'll have 4 regiments here accompanying the cavalry. We'll have 1 regiment in reserve just in case here. In case they try and attack through this flank here, we can move this force here if necessary. But that's a strong attacking force we put together, a strike force, dare we say. Right, let's end the deployment, my friends. Let's begin this battle. Let's do this. Look at that. They are looking. Circassian armed cavalry. That's a brutish force. Double time. Let's look at the Circassian cavalry, because you can see he's coming on the flank here. Oh, that is a brute, sir. Now, I think to protect our flank, we will be moving this regiment here. That's a wonder. Absolutely pious. Don't you waver, Dicky. Don't you waver. gentlemen, begin to fire. Fire by rank. Oh, look at that. Straight on, lads. Oh, what a joy. Don't stand a chance, sir. Ah, Armenian archers. Who would have thought it? What the blazes is going on there? Oh, that's an absolute bloodbath. Don't you break it. Look at that. That cavalry has lasted a lifetime there. Oh, absolutely brutal there, sir. Look at that. Right into the flank, sir. His attack was an absolute treat. They've gone. They've gone. They don't like it. They don't like it, sir. Oh, it's a bloodbath. It's a bloodbath. No one escapes. No one escapes. Into the Nizam. Oh, they do look fancy. Look at that. This Ottoman force has been utterly decimated. Oh, those spikes. Oh, I didn't see those. That's an error on my part. My goodness me. That was beautiful protection there. My goodness me. Oh, God, absolutely everything is shattered. The whole... Yeah, the whole... Yes! The whole front shattered instantly as soon as we got into the teeth of that fight then. Look at that. We lost 272 men. They lost the entirety of their force. Yes! That's more like it, sir. 7,000 to repair that naval hospital. Mind you, I think we shall also repair this army because it did a wonderful job, sir. We're also looking to push against here, but what we don't want to do is bring in these forces here, which I don't think we'll do. But that army there is formidable. They've got the rifles in there, so look at the accuracy there. The Nizam, the Orta, oh, they are very powerful indeed. And oh, and here as well, this trade port needs to be opened up here. So I think we might divert this force here. And it's a powerful force. It doesn't have the cavalry we would require really. It's just got plenty there in that one there. But what's this one got here? It's got that 24-pound howitzer. It's definitely got the Sapias here as well, which we will deal with. But however, also got these gentlemen to deal with as well here. We are going to start making a move against them here. I don't know why this force here hasn't been replenished or repaired, because look at the veterancy of these units. You can tell they've been in some brutal fights, sir. And there as well, I think that was against the Persians. Indeed, we send the Persians back on their heels here, but they're going to come for us again in Baghdad. That's why we've decided to put in the settlement fortifications, upping them again, and also increasing the forces here. But these gentlemen, look at that, they've taken a real battering here. So we've got to get them up as quickly as possible. We're replenishing and repairing what we can, but as you can see, they really have hit us pretty hard in terms of our infrastructure. And here again, they've hit us. Look at that. Now, that's a formidable force. That is formidable. Especially with this organ gun, which is a brute. Repairing that would be no point, especially with these forces bearing down upon us, and neither would it upgrading that either. That's why I've made the choice now. But hopefully if we attack them here, it won't drag this force in either. That's the problem. We might clear this here first. But primarily what we need to do is to focus on this. Now, as you can see, because we've got peace now with Germany for now. Now that is the problem. For now we have peace with Germany, but that won't last long. Many of the councils have been saying it will not last long, Mala. That peace is just a fleeting peace, but it's given us time to move our forces up to the border here. As you can see, we've put together quite a formidable defensive force, so effectively we've sealed off Hungary from the outside world. Even here, they can't pass this sort of the lake here. So we have sort of sealed off the entirety of the front, because originally these 4 German forces were here. They were right here, and they were moving on Hungary itself, maybe even Vienna. But we've thankfully brought peace because we gave them a real bloody nose in the last battle we gave them. But as you can see, these are not forces we should just simply dismiss. Even though they got conscripts in here, these forces are still powerful. And to sort of dismiss them out of hand would be an error on our side. It really would. They've also put forces in here on the side here, which we've managed to move into counter here. But here's the real fight. Now this is where the real battle is. Here we are at war with Russia, and my goodness me, they have thrown everything but the kitchen sink at us here. And as you can see, we have taken a frightful battering here. Look at these forces here, they're down considerably. Here again we've pulled these forces out. This army was originally in Bialystok here, but you had to pull it out to replenish it. We had this force as well defending. Look at this, that's the severity, the savagery of the fighting here on the Eastern Front has been brutal, sir. And look at this here, down to 18 men, this regiment here, under the command of General Gallimore. However, we do have formidable forces moving into place here. As you can see, my friends had a phone call there. As you can see here, we are moving formidable forces in here to try and not only hold Warsaw, because remember, even though we've got France here, and they have formidable forces for France, they really have built a formidable force. They are at peace, I believe. Spain is at war with France, but they're allied with Russia. Now that's the problem. Now France is now allied with Germany. That's the big problem we've got here. We've now got a very, very powerful French force on our doorstep, but particularly for Warsaw, that's something we've got to keep an eye on here, because when war breaks out with Germany again, and it will, we all know it will, but look at the forces here the Russians have. This is nothing to be, I mean, all these forces are quite clearly heading to the frontier. Mind you, they have stopped. As you can see, these are dug in here. But some of these, they've got a plethora of forces. I mean, look at this. The armies they've got, the Russians, are formidable. We have blockaded this here to stop this army here, which is, look at that, that's a brand new army there. And they have been hit here. I think Norway hopefully might be moving against them, which would be nice. So, as we were saying, we've also got Norway, who have ventured forth with quite a powerful force. And as you can see here, this town here, Vasa, has been hit quite hard. Now we can only hope that the Norwegians carry on around here into Finland. That would be excellent. And of course we have got France, who are growing considerably here, only because we have... The only reason that France is as strong as it is because we gave them this land. But as you can see also in the west, which we have cleared. We have cleared in the west here. Now we do have these forces which are replenishing here. Look at that force, sir. That is one of the very first armies we ever put together, because it's got the first Delaware here, of course, and two very powerful regiments here. Grenadiers.
Ready for orders.
Also here, as you can see, the fighting around in and out Munich was brutal. And here also,
Ready.
look at that. We do have to retrofit some of these armies, but you can see, look at that there. So we could move this army here, indeed, closer to the border with Spain. We've got this French army here for some reason. Not even that. Just two forces here. They're not going to do anything against Spain here. But look at Spain. It is grown exponentially, sir. It is a monster. It is a titan. Now, the only reason Spain has gotten this big is because of my mistake, my error. And it was the council that pointed out at the very start of the campaign. It said, Mala, you have to destroy Spain. It will come back to bite you. And I, for want of a better word, I didn't take that advice. I did not take the council's advice. And now look at Spain. It is a titan. Look at it. It is an absolute monolith. Look at it. It is huge. I mean, these armies are brutes. Look at this Swiss Grenadiers. It's got the whole kit and caboodle here. It really has got everything you could wish for in terms of the Spanish forces. Look at this. Spanish Marines, which are some of the finest forces you will see anywhere. And particularly on the west here, that's a formidable force. It really is formidable armies they've got here. My goodness me, look at this. Hunters, which are the green jackets. Oh, good grief, look at this army here. Marines, late and early. Swiss Jaeger, Swiss Grenadiers. Formidable fighting forces here. And good grief. And this here, look how much veterancy they've got as well. These have been in quite a number of fights here. So we're up against it in terms of east and west. We're sort of not hemmed in because we have got a huge area now. All of Western and effectively Central Europe is now fully under American control. Indeed, even sort of this dipping into the Balkans is under our control. We did still have a formidable force here ready to strike at Sarajevo if that comes to it, or should I say when that comes to it. It is a formidable force. It really is. It's going to absolutely punch into here and hit them hard here in Sarajevo, hopefully dragging as many forces as we possibly can here. We've got, I mean, look at the armies here. Look at the armies, sir. Grenadier Guards. 4 regiments in this. Republican Guard. Line Infantry Guards. Plenty of howitzers as well. Beautiful force there. Most of these forces are elite. And have, look at this, it is a wonder. Now, however, we do have a very, very powerful force, which is the absolute tip of the spear, the mailed fist, the battering ram, the hammer of the US forces, and here it is here. Look at that. The Marine Expeditionary Corps, look at that, the Marine Corps, our finest fighting force on any front. It is unrivaled. Unrivaled. Now, it is, you can see here, moving towards the Gdynia here, because it's going to be moved here into East Prussia. Now we're looking to hopefully strike against Vilnius as soon as possible. Vilnius is heavily defended by a considerable amount of Russian forces. Now we have beaten back the majority of the force fighting that's gone on here. We're actually going to reinforce this front as well. We've got the strike group here
At the ready.
has been in position for quite a number of years, but it's been just waiting for the right time to strike, as you can see here. General Cromer is the lead general here in this particular strike force. Look at that. 2 regiments of Marines have been detached from the Marine Corps. 3 regiments have been from the Marine Corps to aid this advance, but look at that. It is absolutely top heavy with cavalry and indeed with this mass of fire support. It is huge. So we're not going to let that go there. But we're looking for the right time. We also have this cavalry regiments here that are sort of loitering around, trying to hit the Russian forces where we can. We're trying to move past the force here in Vilnius and strike behind them here. Try and hit Dieneberg here, and try and hit some of the infrastructure, some of the economical infrastructure here. But we've got a very, very narrow gap from which to operate from. As you can see here, we're trapped between Courland and the Germans at the moment. Mind you, Courland is very heavily defended indeed. Far stronger than I thought it was, but the Russians do have formidable forces in as well. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see another force coming this way, another fight coming our way. That's a massive amount of artillery. And we've got plenty of cavalry which to deal with that, but these gentlemen are not going to be fully replenished by the time this hits, if it hits. We have hit Brest-Litovsk here. That German estate there has also been hit. But there are lots of German forces. Now we have given the French here the Don, but there was a huge amount of German forces here in Tataria. Now we've got our spies. How can the spies move on here? Not very far at all. And here as well, but we've got a massive Russian force moving in. We've also got we're trying to contain Venice. Venice is also on the move here in terms of loitering about the sort of the Alps. Got to keep an eye on those forces here. We did give them a sound thrashing here at the outskirts of Munich. We are at the moment dismantling the seminary here, repairing where we need to be repaired, particularly around these minefields here. And I think everything else is in good order. I think we will move this army here, further closer to the border, just to make sure, because they've got a formidable force here. The Spanish, we don't make sure we're absolutely ready for this here. That's good. There's only that one regiment which is almost ready. Got these gentlemen as well. So we are ready to meet any Spanish threat. But this here in Hanover, which the council has already alluded to, there's a gap here. If they were to pour through this gap here, we wouldn't be able to stop them. They wouldn't. This town here wouldn't stop them. The army here would do some damage, but it wouldn't put a halt to them. So we're going to have to put another army in its place here as well. Now we are thin on the ground in terms of armies. Are we replenishing this? We are indeed. We need to bring this up to full strength. We've got 3, as you can see here, 3 of the apps for 5 magnificent cities under our control. The production of those cities is formidable. And we've got this army here. Again, look at that. Look at the fighting that's taken place here. But the Marines have to be put into place here.
Sir.
I think we'll send this force as well to the east. Every force is going to the east here. We've got to put a barrier between. I think we'll send them to this part here. We can actually go through French territory,
In position.
which is good to see.
At the ready.
We could strike. I think we'll move again through the French territory here. I think this army will also join as well. So let's move this. I have a strike group on the southern front here,
Foraging supply.
because we have now put a barrier between ourselves and the Germans if they decide to attack us again. I think we do need to use Berlin here to start putting together another army. That's a formidable force here in Berlin, but it's a defensive force. We'll start putting together a force here that's going to. Now, I think some Horse Grenadier Guards would be an excellent addition to our forces here. Some Cuirassiers as well, and I think we'll have some sharpshooters as well, without a doubt, because they are formidable. Garrison Guards, no. Line infantry, yes, that's excellent there. Dresden can do the same. Oh, blunderbuss shotgunners here. Dresden's got a bit more panache about it here. Oh, no sharpshooters, missile cavalry, no. Oh, lancers, yes sir, we're one of those, thank you very much. We'll also have some guns here as well. 24-pounder howitzer. And 24-pounder foot. The same here from Prague. We're going to build a formidable force. Cuirassiers and line infantry. We will not allow the Spanish here to ride roughshod over us. As you can see, Norway is starting to muster quite powerful forces here, which is good to see. We're allied with them. They've been good allies of ours. They haven't really involved themselves in any wars, but they have at least sort of kept the Russians at bay here. I think we're also going to start putting together some more additional navies here. Look at that, 4,000. So let's put a very strong force out here. We are going to start spending our money. We've got, look at that, 92,000 to come in here. That is incredible. Alas, India has been hit pretty hard. And why is that? And of course we're at war with the Mughal Empire as well, which controls all of India. So as you can see, that is going to be one heck of a fight. We're also at war of Afghanistan, which is, and also Persia. So effectively the Middle East is at war with us. And of course the Ottomans as well. We're going to continue clearing the Ottomans here. But not just yet. We've got this force here which will intercede here, and we'll do what we can here to try and clear all these fronts out. Now, are we replenishing these armies? We are indeed. I think some of these armies will have to venture forth as well and do what they can. That's a formidable force there. The Army Staff College will give us what? Republican Guard, but again, no line infantry, which is incredibly strange. Now, back at home, I think everything is fine at home here in the homeland. As you can see, we've got quite a lot of armies here, but with Spain being so powerful, as soon as we take one of these armies away, I can absolutely guarantee you that Spain will declare war and attack us on the home front here. And we don't have armies in these major cities, and we'll pay the price. Of course, Britain has been an ally of ours from the very beginning. So I don't really want to turn our gaze to Britain just yet. I think they've deserved at least our loyalty for the time being. And they do control most of the Caribbean. Most of the Caribbean islands are in their control. Courland as well does have this presence down here. This is where most of France's income, perhaps. No, it's not. I would have thought these would be bringing in considerable money to France, but they're not using it. Anyway, I think we can end the turn here, my friends, and see what happens here, particularly with Russia. We are sort of just biding our time here. Sweden is hostile with us as well, but Sweden is here. We could, of course, take Sweden in its entirety. That's a very powerful army, though. Where did they raise the money for that? From Reykjavik. Their income is actually not too bad at all. 10,000 is no small change. We've got nothing coming from here, which means we are probably being raided indeed. But will the Mughals come for us here in Ceylon? I doubt it very, very much. We must be being cut off from somewhere else. Ah, that. Wait a minute. Wait. Oh, would you look at that? 2 64-pounders. And they're also running with 2 Sapias Lancers. You've got these bowmen here, and they've got the Kobashi musketeers, but those guns there are formidable. Where are they going with this boat here? They're probably going to try and move up straight up here and move towards Baghdad. This garrison here would not hold out for very long, especially if Persia keeps forcing down upon us here. But anyway, let's end the turn. Let's keep an eye on what's going on. We've, of course, got Alexandria at full capacity as well, which is going to be a formidable trading port. Let's see what's going on here with the Russians. Let's end the turn, my friends. Let's see what happens here. And of course, we are keeping an eye on everything we possibly can here. We're also trying to get this spy back to Europe as well. Great Britain. Genoa. Now, France is increasing its lot here. Aha! Germany, what's Germany going to do? Is it just positioning itself for another attack? I would not be surprised at all. Ah, things are afoot, my friends. Things are afoot. Yeah, they're starting. I think we're going to see another war very soon. And they're pulling back all of their agents out of the front lines. Now the plot thickens. Naples. That's a lot of forces they've got there. My goodness me. The Mughal Empire. You try something, Mughal Empire. Ottoman Empire. What will they do? They're going to reinforce. Going to do a little bit of light skirmishing there, a light bit of raiding, but nothing much. What will Russia do? Here's the key question. And they're just reinforcing Vilnius even more so. Vilnius is going to be a tough nut to crack. My goodness me. Look at the brand new forces coming down. What the blazes? Look at the guns. Look at the guns they've got available here. And this force is going to be absolutely crushed. Look at the guns they've got. Where are they getting these forces from? It is staggering. This force will not survive this attack. I think we're going to have to bring in this force here. This force here is going to have to be the force that comes in behind to deal with this, because there's not a chance that that other force will cope with that. We've got a lot of guns here, a lot of cavalry. The cavalry will have to come in first. Let's put these gentlemen here. Let's put some... Let's get these regiments in as well first. These new regiments which have managed to replenish themselves. Look at that, only 26 men. That's the depth of the fighting. Here as well. I'll put this gentleman here and here. 400, 744. It'll have to be this army coming in behind it, but this army will not be able to hold against it. But then again, it's mostly artillery, but then again, the artillery fire will be extraordinary. So we're going to have to use our cavalry, or what's left of it at least, to try and deal with this. To take care of that artillery. It's got to be done. They don't have them in. They've only got 3 regiments of infantry here, so I think we'll be able to deal with these, but the constant pressure from the Russians is incredible. They're bringing in brand new forces all the time. This is going to be one of the most... this could even beat the German war. This could be the war to end all wars. Right, let's get the secondary force in here as well, just in case. I think we should have enough to deal with them here with this force coming in. And then this fort, you've got these gentlemen here as well. There's pretty much an up-to-date force. Alright, let's take the fight. Let's take the fight. Now, we outnumber them here, but let's take this fight. Another fight on the Eastern Front. Incredible. It really could be just a formidable war with the Russians, one that might not give any quarter at all. Okay, we've got... Now we could use this village here to our own ends here. And we could also hide troops in here. And this could actually break up a lot of their advance here, which would suit us perfectly. Now, we don't have a great deal of depth in terms of our numbers, but we've got to use everything at our disposal here. We've got these walls here, which we might just use, I think. I think for this particular fight, we are going to go into... We're going to have sandbags around here, this walled-off fortifications here, as you can see. I have no idea what's going on there. So let's just pull these forces to here. We've got to use everything at our disposal here. Everything, sir. These howitzers will be key here, but we're going to be outgunned by a considerable amount by the Russians, I beg your pardon. Right, our cavalry is going to be crucial here for us, so we've got to make the most of it. And that means striking on the flanks here. Mind you, look at our deployment zone here. It is incredibly narrow, but look at the depth. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Where's the Russian deployment zone? Wait a minute. There it is there. Is this... This is very odd indeed. So the Russian deployment zone is here, running parallel to our own. Oh, this is very, very odd indeed. Okay, what we might just do here then is put these gentlemen here. Facing this way. And we'll have our cavalry on the sort of the flanks, but not flanks as we sort of recognise them now. In this forest, look at how dense the forestry is here. That's a wonder, sir. And why are they not hidden? So it looks like we're going to have to alter our tactics here slightly. I think we'll also include them in this force here as well. So we're going to really push quite hard here. Now they're hidden, but these are not, probably because they are cuirassiers. They don't get hidden. That's very, very odd. However, we mustn't wait on that. We've got other cuirassiers here, which we're going to put on this flank here. In here. General bodyguard. We need to protect this flank. Now I know there's every chance the Russians might come from this flank here and sort of wheel around, which is absolutely fine. We will set our defences accordingly. 224 here. Let's set them here. We want them to come to us, but we've got to get that artillery. The main thing is the artillery. If we can get the artillery, then we really have got a good chance. We're going to set anti-horse stakes everywhere. We'll have this regiment here. As you can see very experienced regiments. They have been involved in some brutal fighting. We just have to make most of what we've got here. We've got to hold this front here. We can't allow the Russians anywhere near Warsaw. It'll unhinge our entire front. I think that's the best we can do as defence. We have got reserves coming in. Thankfully we do have a lot of reserves. But as you can see here, we're going to be up against it. Let's end the deployment here. There they are. There they are. They've got a lot of cavalry, but a lot of guns. Look at the artillery strikes. Now that is oh my goodness me, that is ridiculous. Look at that. We've just lost an entire regiment, Ion. Nearly 59 men killed in one hit. That's the magnitude of their power they've got here. They've gone. They have gone. Oh my goodness me, we're getting absolutely blitzed here by the Russians. They're going to hit us hard here. They're going to hit us incredibly hard. We've got to maneuver this very, very carefully here. Oh my goodness me. They've gone, they've gone. Oh! They're firing right down the throat here of the cavalry. We've got to do something about it. Got to maintain our composure here. Yes, into the nuts. We're starting to clear that artillery over. Look at that, we're threading the needle, sir. Oh, they've gone. Beat them head on, lads. Now they come towards our defensive lines, sir. Here we go, here we go. Here comes our reserves now. Got to be prepared for this. We shall move our general here. Come on, gentlemen. Gotta take the artillery. Oh, look at that. That's a wonder. Oh, they've been absolutely destroyed here, sir. Got the artillery. The artillery was the absolute key to this. Let them come, sir. Let them come. We shall meet here. We shall bring all our forces together here. Oh, look at that. Garrison guard gone. got rid of the artillery. The artillery was absolutely key to the Russian offensive. That's gone. Now we've got additional forces as well moving in. Now we need to pick them off. You know, pick them off one by one here. Come on, steady lad, steady now. One strike force here. Let's see what you've got. Here they come, here they come. We stand ready, sir, we stand ready. Oh, that's a brutish fight, sir. They've gone. They've had enough. Look at that. Shattered, sir. The defence is working. But that striking out with the... That's a wonder. Yeah, they've hit us hard here. These Streltsy here are real tough fighters, hand-to-hand melee fighters. Steady lad, steady now. We're not going to be pushed back by the Russians. Of that I can assure you. They've done a wonderful job, the cavalry here. That's a shot and a half there, so look at that, right through the middle of them. Oh, good shot, sir. Second line. Yes. Third line. Reload, reload. We sent them on their heels, we sent them back on their heels. We lost all the cavalry, but my word, they've done a wonderful job here. Just 34 cavalry, but that's all we need. They're shattered, they're shattered. Let's bring a full weight of the artillery down upon me, gentlemen. Oh, that's a solid defence there, even against all the odds here. That cavalry did a wonderful job. Mind you, they were pretty full of all dragoons will be tough to beat. Aha! That's more like it. A 105 cavalry, that'll do some damage, sir. Aha! Two more generals, which we don't really need. Let's deal with these Streltsy. Got to show them we're not afraid to do what's necessary to win. These Streltsy here are absolute brutes in the melee. All they do to charge 105 cavalry, look at that. Just kill them, sir. Yeah, they've gone. That's the charge. Now it's time to roll them up. Don't you waver, gentlemen. Oh no, they're starting to buckle. We've got the general. Now they've gone. The morale is gone. Yes, another Russian force dealt with, sir, by the sheer valor, the veracity here of another wonderful American defense. We lost 482, but they lost 1,365. We've given them a sound fashion, but they're not going to stop, I don't think. Yes, indeed, again. They're determined to break us here, but we are going to take this fight next episode, my friends. And look at this army here has been absolutely obliterated. They are sending everything they can. They're trying to break this town here. Thankfully, we've got a decent amount of reserves in here, but my goodness me, it's going to be a difficult fight. We could even use this force here, because most of it, we've got the Cuirassiers. They will do the damage. The Cuirassiers will do the damage into that. But we're going to take this fight next episode, my friends, where hopefully we can hold here. And then maybe we can launch an assault into Russian territory and wait for the Marines to come in as well. That would be excellent if the Marines get here as well. Looks like Russia is gearing up for the long fight here, because they've got a terrific amount of forces moving into the area. Vilnius is going to be an incredibly tough nut to crack. Probably one of our hardest fights we've ever had on this campaign. And that would be saying something. But my friends, I'm going to end this episode here. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, as always, my friends, please keep your comments coming down below. Let me know what we should do if and when we defend this next attack, because I think this army might be completely decimated in the next attack. Particularly the cavalry, which has been, well, there's almost nothing left of it, let's be honest. And they're bringing in, again, considerable guns to bear here. And a lot of cavalry again, lots of dragoons, and these Streltsy here, which are brutes in the melee fight here. But we've got the reinforcements we need to take this fight. We shall do, my friends. We shall do. But anyway, hope you've enjoyed it. As always, my friends, please keep your comments coming down below. Whatever you're doing, please be safe. Thank you all for your wonderful support. But until next time, my friends, bye for now.